everybody. It's Daniel, the Rocket Noob, and we're here with the Rocketry Show at NARCon 2017, and we're currently at the Udvar-Hazy Center for the National Air and Space Museum. If you remember our previous podcast, we talked to Dr. Jennifer Levasseur of the Smithsonian Institution, and she told us all about this place. As a matter of fact, behind me, if you look, you can see Space Shuttle Discovery, which was kind of the workhorse of the fleet, flew in space, I believe, more times than any other. One of the things that Dr. Levasseur mentioned is that it looks like it just came out of space and basically came to a stop and parked. And if you look at it, you can see it is very dirty. It's like a lot of cars that I've owned. This is basically a room full of spacecraft, and it's basically open to the public, and a lot of us at NARCon are going to come check this place out. CG and I are here a little early because we wanted to come and talk to you about a few things. We just walked through a hangar full of airplanes, and I'm kind of freaking out right now because this whole place is like a toy store for me, but like really big toys. So that's where we are. NARCon 2017 is my first one. You can tell I'm pretty excited. So yeah, that's it. All right, well, we are right here by Space Shuttle Discovery, workhorse of the fleet. We're about 7 feet away from it. It's really interesting. If you look at the tiles, they look really dusty. They look marked up with reentry gases, and you can see streaks from, it looks like if you were building a model, you would airbrush that on. All the tiles have little serial numbers on them. It's really interesting. Yeah, it's like you could almost touch it. If it weren't for the fact that it would be a very bad idea and you'd get kicked out. But it's just astonishing. When you first come into the Udvar-Hazy Center, you can look to the back and you can see it. But because of the low lighting in here, when I first came in, I didn't think that this was actually the shuttle. I thought what I was seeing was a painting on the door to the room with the shuttle. But it was looking right at it. It's really fantastic. And the great thing about this is I could take all these pictures. So if I ever build on a scale model, I'll have lots of material to work with. I don't really know what else to say at this point. Over here we got the Canada arm. If you want to follow me here. Of course, our Canadian Rocketeers know that everyone in Canada knows that certain things come from Canada. Shania Twain, Eggs Benedict, and the Canada arm. Actually, I don't know if Eggs Benedict come from Canada, but the Canadian bacon definitely does. But the Canada arm, which flew on the space shuttle many times and was used for deploying payloads, big source of pride in Canada. The giant arm there, robotic arm, and was responsible for deploying all sorts of payloads from military to commercial to, I believe, the Hubble Space Telescope was surely dragged out of there by some kind of arm device, most likely made in Canada. And here it is. So one thing, and I don't think we can see it from here. Well, maybe we'll talk about it when we get to a different angle. There are some tiles up there that look like black teardrops underneath the windows. On Discovery, we're a little too close to see it. But on Discovery, underneath both windows, there are a couple of black tiles where most of the other orbiters had all white tiles, and they almost look like little teardrops underneath the windows. But they're a little too... maybe you're taller than me, so maybe you're getting a shot of it. Maybe we can get a shot of it later. But that is unique to Discovery. Okay, so we're underneath Discovery right now, underneath the back end of it. And if you look up, you can see the tiles really, really closely, and you see all these little circles. I forget what those circles are for. They either have to do with the manufacturer or with a tool that placed them in place. But what's really interesting is because of the texture all of them have, you can see each one of them has a little streak coming off of it from reentry. And whereas they used to be black, a lot of them have gone ash white. Some of them have turned sort of a rust red, and they all have they're all just different colors. In fact, some of them look a little bit like a sort of a looks like a really cool tile you'd want in a nice bathroom. You know what I mean? Like a nice bathroom tile with a nice kind of earth tone. But that's all from the plasma of reentry. It's so cool. And over here, we got the gas tank, the liquid oxygen, and the liquid hydrogen ports. CG just pointed those out to me. That's gonna cost a lot for a trip.